Hello, I'm Darlene of the Rainbow Frequency, and I'm here today to help you release stress, anxiety, frustration, any of the lower vibrational energy that you're feeling right now. We're in a time of great transformation and transition. We have the opportunity to do shadow work, to witness where our wounds are, and take the opportunity to get to the root of where they've risen from, or what has impacted you to create the patterns that you are needing to unravel or renegotiate for yourself. It is a very agitating time. People generally don't like change, it makes them uncomfortable. There are those who are really craving change in the world around us and feel like it's not happening fast enough. And then there are those who don't want the change to happen at all, and it freaks them out that some of the paradigms around us are changing, are crumbling, are being renegotiated. So it's an amazing time to be alive. It is a great opportunity to grow and expand into your true nature, your full divine self. But just like the butterfly going from a caterpillar in the cocoon and transforming, it isn't always joyful and easy. There can be a bit of inner conflict, turmoil, the need to surrender instead of trying to control. So we're going to do a quick meditation to help you relieve some of the tension and resistance, any blockages within you, any ways that you're limiting yourself, diminishing yourself for the sake of fitting in, any ways that you're compromising yourself. So get comfortable. You can either lie down or sit. You can stand in mountain pose or prayer position, whatever you like. I am an energy balancing practitioner and spiritual medium. I work one-to-one with people as well as doing events and workshops. So I have all that information below in the description box if you care to check out my site or more about me. So without further ado, take a deep breath, hold it momentarily, and exhale. Again, deep breath. If you can, count in 8 counts. Hold it for 11, and then exhale for 12. If that's uncomfortable, next breath, try breathing in for 4 counts, holding it for 7, and exhaling 8 counts. Deep breath in, hold it momentarily, and exhale. Nobody needs or wants you at this time. It is my intention to aid you in your highest good in a way that delights you, mind, body, and spirit, holistically, in a way that delights you in entirety. Deep breath in, hold it momentarily, and start to drop your roots down, starting from your waist, down your abdomen, pelvis, groin, upper thigh, lower thigh, knees, shins, calves, ankles, and feet, down through any and all surfaces, descending through the layers of the earth till they reach an underground cave. There they connect with the crystalline grid, going further down and wrapping around the core or heart center of the earth. You give thanks for this connection and support, and in exchange, all of this life force, elemental energy travels back up through your roots and through your chakra system, helping you be your most vital and vibrant self so you may thrive and flourish. Deep breath in, hold it momentarily, and as you exhale, let yourself expand, stretching upward, growing in the light, feeling supported and protected, expanding into your full divine body. All the way up, you stretch, forming into a tree body, your branches traveling upward, up past the clouds, through the atmosphere, till they break through to the cosmos. There you connect to the Celestine grid and your centers within the cosmos. You give thanks for this connection and support, and in exchange, all this high vibrational energy travels back down through your chakra system, through your body, out through the soles of your feet and into the earth. The energies of above and below now flowing through you, in, out, and back again, like blood flowing through the chambers of a sacred heart. You are grounded, you are centered, held within your sacred circle of love and support. Feel swaddled and held in this sacred space. Deep breath in, hold it momentarily, and as you exhale, release all of your pain within your physical body out through the soles of your feet and roots into the earth to be transmuted into healing energy for all. Deep breath in, hold it momentarily, and as you exhale, release all your grief and sadness to the waters, letting them be healed and transmuted into healing energy for all. Deep breath in, hold it momentarily, and as you release this breath, allow the winds to take away your anxiety, undue fear, and worries. Dropping your shoulders down, unclenching your jaw, relaxing your brow line in between your eyes, letting this energy be transmuted and healed into healing energy for all. Deep breath in, hold it momentarily, And as you exhale, release your anger, frustration, resentment, and hostility to the sun and all the fire within the earth and the cosmos, letting it be transmuted into fuel and healing energy for all. This release is a gift to the earth, helping process all that the world is feeling through you and the collective connection that we hold. Now breathe in peace. Breathe in love. And breathe in harmony. Take a deep breath. Hold it momentarily. Seeing yourself in your tree, plant body, or whatever form you've taken. Seeing yourself, feeling the interconnectivity that you have with the all. Take a moment to then step out from this form and go through a doorway into your most cozy, comfortable, sacred space or terrain. Feel with all of your senses. Stretch your consciousness outward, perceiving what is here for you within your sacred space. Now start to build a fire. Once you've created this fire, sit down beside it, calling in your ancestors, angels, guides, guardians, and helpers to sit in this sacred space with you. Staring into the fire, further release, throwing into it all that you wish, pain, suffering, past experiences, past versions of yourself that are outdated, anything that you no longer wish to carry with you, throw it into the fire, a gift to be transmuted into healing energy for all. In this sacred space with your guides, guardians, and helpers, they offer you a medicinal beverage to drink. Take a moment to enjoy this beverage, sipping it. If you can, experiencing it with your senses, the taste, the feel, whatever you may perceive. Drinking it down, rehydrating, and helping further detoxify and purify you. They then offer you a meal, again, as you may perceive it. Stretch out with your senses, experiencing the taste, the feeling, whatever you may, savoring each bite, feeling further restored and nourished. And then the last gift they offer you, they hand to you now. If you can, take a moment to experience and perceive it before tucking it away for safekeeping within yourself. Om Dai Tu Dai Tu Re So Ha. Om Dai Tu Dai Tu Re So Ha. Om Dai Tu Dai Tu Re So Ha. Om Mani Padme Hum. Blessing you with wellness, past, present, future, in every which direction, in every which way in time. Come back to your body in the here and now, sealing this healing energy in for you to further enjoy and process. Come all the way back into your body, start to wiggle, stretch, squirm, squinch the muscles of your face, and when you're ready, open your eyes. I hope that you feel lighter and more centered in yourself. I'm now going to pull a few cards to further ground in this healing and whatever messages from Spirit want to come through. I, within that meditation, chanted through the mantras of the different chakras. So if you Google or search for these mantras, you can easily find them. It's an easy way for you to work through your own chakra system for self-care and self-healing. When you chant, sing, hum, it helps move energy through your body, just like it does with yoga, qigong, any of these healing modalities. So, sorry, I just kicked you. Sorry. So first we're going to start with what archetype within us will best serve us. And again, this is a collective message, but what energy, what archetype within us can we rely on right now to help us navigate what we're currently facing, or what can we further develop within ourselves? Oh, well, that's fascinating. We got the empty room, which I feel follows very nicely after that meditation, because it was meant to help clear out things within you, any stagnation, false narratives, beliefs, anything that you didn't need to be carrying going forward. You know, we have Saturn stationing in Aries. That is a really big new beginning for us to reprioritize, reshift our focus on what it is that we're passionate about, what we're invested in to take action towards, and what we're willing to protect, what we're willing to fight for. Saturn is all about discipline, structure, foundation. So it's an opportunity to create a new foundation, new structure within your life, so that you can go after what your heart and soul wants. So first you have to perhaps deprogram a bit, let go of the expectations that you've absorbed through society, your family, anything that you thought you previously needed to do or be in order to fit in, so that then you can be in that blank space, in that womb space for creation to happen, for you to come back to your soul self. Who are you at the soul level? And then you expand that outward in a multi-dimensional way, because you see how this has the square, or I'm sorry, the rectangle in the middle with lines coming off of it. You know, you empty and release so that new energy, new connection, new things can come in, or you release so that you can get back to your own true nature and then create from that point. You know, we're going from the Piscean age to the Aquarian age. So, you know, that was a previous age where it was all about survival. And there was a certain amount of deep diving that needed to take place so that we could get to the root of what was behind the fear of not surviving. But we're moving from that stage to being in a more humanitarian, reciprocal exchanges space. So there is a lot that will fall away so that new growth can occur. All right, now let's go over to the chakra system and see what the chakras want to say to us. There's a lot of throat chakra activation, like people working on communicating compassionately what their truth is. We're having to process anger, frustration, and try to express it in a way that's productive, that's beneficial. All right. From the chakra system, we got mysticism. Okay, going back to what I was saying, the Piscean age, all about survival. On an evolutionary journey, we first were very much, as a people, connected to the earth and mysticism, spirituality. Then over time, that need and fear for survival took over, and a lot of us stepped away from some of the old ways to embrace industrialization, technology. We became, on the whole, very, very, very focused on our careers, to the point where there was work-life imbalance that then became very evident to a lot of us that it needed to change. There's been this revitalization of spirituality, of people wanting to get back to the old ways. I'm recognizing with a lot of people, we carry wounds within us because out of that fear of survival, we hid our spiritual, psychic selves, our abilities, because we didn't want to be ostracized. We didn't want to be vilified or persecuted. Now we're coming back around to heal those ancestral wounds and exalt in our divine nature, exalt in our spiritual gifts. I'm here very passionately to help people learn, like, you were divinely made. So instead of vilifying yourself, understand how you operate, how you function, and work with it instead of fighting it. So this is a chance to let go of some of those beliefs that were restricting you so that you can be the authority of yourself. Previously in society, it was, in a lot of places, we were conditioned to think that we had to go to someone special in order to know what God was saying, or to know what our guides, guardians, and helpers, what the angels were saying. Every single person has access to that within themselves. You just have to be willing to go there, connect, and believe. You have to have faith with yourself and your connection to Source. All right. All in the third eye, forgiveness. A lot of times we register red flags, but we don't pay attention. We don't believe that we should adhere to those red flags. So then they bite us in the butt. Then instead of being unhappy with the experience, or recognize that this was bad behavior that you don't want in your life, a lot of times we get mad at ourselves and pull away from our intuition because, in a weird way, we get mad that we didn't protect ourselves better. So I've also noticed over time, when I was younger, our emotional selves were a detriment. We were taught to not be so emotional, and over time, we have started to recognize how important our emotions are to us. They give us information. They help us know where we need boundaries, where we need to heal, when we should say yes, when we should say no. It's also, our emotional body is very much connected to our intuition. And so it's how we get those cues. So instead of pushing them away, Sit with them. Observe with your emotions. When you get these little nudges, instead of dismissing yourself, try following through to see, like a kid playing out in the world, you know, and being curious to find the magic out there, you know. A lot of times these psychic spiritual gifts are so innate that we don't even recognize them and value them for what they are. Like, I have one of my psychic gifts is being clairaudient, so clear hearing. I never considered that the inner dialogue that I had throughout my life was something that other people may not have. When I found out that other people, not everyone has an inner dialogue, that blew my mind. I'm like, how on earth do these people function? Like, I'd feel so lost without it. But it wasn't really until about 2019 where I was driving in a blizzard and I kept hearing the line, "Slow down, you're moving too fast," that I was like, oh my goodness, that's something to pay attention to. And it's such a gift and special connection. So now, I mean, I do this professionally, and I still have to remind myself, when you hear something, don't just dismiss it because your cognitive or your ego mind is like, no, I don't believe you. Sit with it. Follow that thread. Just saying. And, you know, by forgiving, you have to forgive yourself in a lot of cases. You have to forgive others so that you can release, like we did in the meditation, so that the new can come to you instead of you being imprisoned by that pain. Yes. We're also working, a lot of us, through being what I call recovering perfectionists. A lot of times that is from a childhood or early life wound where we don't value ourselves and we feel like we have to be so perfect in order to be liked, to be worthy. And it's just, it's nonsense. I mean, you're not here to meet other people's expectations. You're here to live your life, to be the best version of you, to get to know yourself so that you can be the best version of you, and to just be who you are instead of overly doing. Because oversharing, overdoing, overcaring, again, is a wound where we feel like we're not enough and we overcompensate. So let it go. Let that go. Ground into the fact that you exist, therefore you are worthy. All right, moving on. What are we alchemizing through? And at the end, I'll show you the different card decks. Or I'll tell you, at the very least, because I don't have all the boxes. So what are we alchemizing through? What are we healing through to create inner abundance? Ash. I love that. Okay. So, do I have? I don't have the book. Do I have the book? I do not have the book. Oh well, I don't need the book. That's that perfectionist in me. But okay, so ash. We talked about the fire, how we use the fire to transmute and purify ourselves in the meditation. Ash and smoke are also further purifying elements. Oops, sorry. Channeling, drawing in the information. So it is that, burning away all that you've absorbed since you hatched here in the mortal coil, and releasing it and coming back to the part of you that is indomitable. Triangles are an indomitable shape. They're also a way to draw the light of the universe down through you. So it's just that we've been healing, sitting with what burns us up, hopefully releasing the anger, taking the lesson, transforming it into wisdom, so then you can dissipate and be your strongest self, to be in alignment, mind, body, and spirit, to be in alignment with your true nature, and to be in connection to all that is. A mantra or affirmation that I've been really liking lately: I am all that and then some. Be expansive. Don't limit yourself. And another one, the despicable face. Yeah, like I was saying earlier, we're in an opportunity, or we're in a time of opportunity to do a lot of shadow work, to look at the parts of ourselves that we don't feel comfortable with, that we previously vilified or didn't like about ourselves. Again, going back to that perfectionism, what we weren't so comfortable and felt was good enough to be shared with the world, things like that. So it's dropping that out of your mindset, out of your emotions, and not wearing masks so that others will like you, so that you'll fit in. It's showing your true self in all of your aspects and taking those shadows and turning them into something, instead of being fearful or disgusting to us, as an initiation point, calling back our power. But in a calling back of our power in a way that is meant to be in loving connection with all around us. It isn't us versus them. It isn't us versus nature, us versus the world. There is limitless abundance and prosperity available. So you have to shift that mindset into being open and receptive to what is meant for you, for your highest good, and know that it's coming to you, instead of being in that control mindset of like, I know better than the universe. I know better than creation. All right, overarching theme, we have the 10 of Pentacles. Again, so we're in a place collectively where we can really rethink, what is it that are our goals? What legacy do we want to be creating? What do we want to be working towards on the material plane to create that abundance? What's worth putting that time and energy into so that it can grow into something that you're going to be proud of? This is about balancing your divine masculine and your divine feminine selves. So your active action protective self with your intuitive, receptive self, being loyal to what your heart and soul really truly wants to be growing and building. Where we are currently, we're all in the space of being the emperor. You know, an emperor is someone who becomes the authority and sovereign self of themselves, stretches it outward into the world. Like, what do they want to be growing? You know, first there's a king with a kingdom, then there's the emperor who stretches outward, so that it stretches out past themselves. I love that we have those ram heads, you know, showing. It really gives the feeling of Saturn in Aries. So again, you are the authority of yourself. You are a sovereign being. You are divinely created to be an embodiment of Source here on Earth. Now, what are you going to do with it? What are you going to build? What are you going to create? How are you going to nurture and support an ecosystem? The conflict, the challenge is to release yourself from indecision. Free yourself from the trappings of your mind and being purely logical, and embrace what your intuitive and emotional body is telling you. Instead of dismissing, witness, observe. What is the information that's coming to you? And then intuitively, how can you best apply that to the world that you're living in? Advice from Spirit. The Star card is all about healing and being authentic. Love that. Then we have King of Cups, which the King in Tarot to me is about mastering that aspect of your body. So the cups are your emotional body. So again, becoming a master of your emotional self. Really being there to serve, filling your own cup instead of constantly giving it out to others. Make sure that you are here to be of service to yourself, that you are a priority to yourself, not so that no one else matters, but at the same time, like, make sure you fill your own cup. Like they say, put your own oxygen mask on first so that you can best serve others or be helpful to those around you. You know, if you don't honor, acknowledge, and tend to your emotions, again, they tend to bite you in the butt. So, you know, going back to our emotions and how far we've come, like, we now know, a lot of us, that our emotional health is tied to our gut health. You know, what you're eating and drinking has an effect on you. Recently, it was conveyed to me by Spirit that, you know, our body is a temple, yes. However, it also is a machine that a lot of us don't tend to properly and with the same amount of care that we will give to our phones. You know, we know when our phone is getting low in battery and we have to charge it. So, you know, we know these things and we treat them with a lot of us, we treat them with that care, but a lot of us physically don't feed ourselves properly, hydrate properly. You know, we run ourselves into the ground and then we get emotional and we wonder why. You know, so it's just that, make sure that you don't get caught up in the motions of running around like a chicken with your head cut off. Take moments out to breathe. What is this telling me? What is the lesson in this? How can I best be of service to myself and those involved. Is this action going to be in the highest good of all involved? Catch yourself if you're an oversharer, overgiver, overdoer. Like, is this needed? Is this actually going to be helpful? Or am I just caught up in the feeling that I have to be productive? Those kind of things. Because you don't want to be spinning your wheels and not getting anywhere. You want to be taking slow and steady steps that create a sustainable growth. So, thank you so much for being here. Like I said before, I have my information in the description box below if you wish to connect with me. I very much appreciate your likes, your shares, your support. So thank you so much for hitting the like button, subscribing, all that jazz. I'm on Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest. As a small business, trying to make my impact out there from my heart to you. Be well holistically for yourself and the environment you're a beautiful and integral part of.